Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be drawing one of my original characters that is a wolf. First I start off with the sketch of the head. It's basically made up of a circle and two lines and the actual outline of the head, of course, obviously. Okay, there we go. And then the little neck. And then the body, which is basically an upside down triangle with curved angles. There we go. I do not know why I did that extra stroke. And then next the hips, and then the arms, which are basically just two circles and two lines each, and then of course the legs, because I guess it's kind of what you put in those places. Next I use lasso to adjust it because I made it a bit crooked. And then just fix it a bit more. Okay, now I make another layer so I can do the actual outline of the character. So first, a bit of fur, then the ear, and then another ear which is kind of facing downward. Of course, the head and a bit of fur, and then, well, obviously the rest of the head, the neck, and then the V-neck, which is big, but there's a bandage underneath, and then kind of has a simple design. It's like an X and then two lines on the bottom part. Next, I draw his arms. They're just long sleeves, I guess. I kept making a gap there so it wasn't actually connected to the rest of the neck or the body. And then drawing the bottom of the jacket took me 3 attempts because it kind of looked like a dress to me for some reason. And then of course the legs. And then I accidentally left in a little gap, but I filled it in, of course. I mean, you kind of just saw it right there, obviously. And then now his gigantic white eyes and his eyebrows, pretty small. And then the even smaller nose, it's just a dot. And then the mouth, I couldn't really decide what to do for it, but I just settled with that. Next, I drew those lines because it shows kind of the inside of the ear. But anyways, I colored in the fur, and then of course, well, speaking of the inside of the ear, I colored in the inside of the ear, and then the light gray bandage, and then the jacket is kind of like a dark pinkish red, and then the pants are just like a nice brown. Here I erased part of the leg because I made it way too small on the end, or near the end. And then I just have to fill it in, of course. Next I make another layer because I'm gonna do another quick sketch. Of course, the gray, and then 3 different head sizes. Okay, but I went to this one, and then I just do the basic head sketch, circle, two lines, actual outline, tiny neck. But here I only did half the body. It's kind of a half body portrait. And then his arms, one that kind of goes past the body, but we don't need to mind that as much. Anyways, the outline, so the bit of fur, and then the ear, and then the other ear facing downwards that I made a bit too small, and then of course the bit of fur, and then the rest of his head, and then the neck, which kind of looks long, but we also don't mind that. And here on the v-neck, well, the bandage, I kind of just wanted to do the pattern that I already did on the full sketch. By full, I mean his whole body without his feet, but that's another thing, we don't mind. And then his arms, one shoulder is kind of a bit lifted up, and then made it even more obvious that the arm was longer than the rest of the body and the other arm, but it's fine. Next, delete the sketch again. I kind of wanted to do a confused expression, so I did the like half an eye and then the full eye, the nose, the eyebrows, which look weird. And then when I did the mouth and zoomed out, the head looked way too big or like elongated. So I just decided to do the gigantic eyes, white eyes, the nose, and then just like a happy sideways tree. Happy sideways tree. I mean the like happy mouth expression thing. Anyways, color in the fur, the jacket, and then kind of slightly darker the bandage. Kind of had to fill in a few things. Just like 1 pixel, 1 pixel thick. But I just filled in the gaps. One of them did not turn out too well. Yeah, that one, but it's fine. So next, I am gonna draw the ear, of course, like the inside of the ear, and then color it because I kind of forgot about it. Anyways, I was gonna draw the name, age, and gender on the right side, but I just decided to go to the left side. Yeah, I was like zooming in on the right, but I just realized to do it here. Decided, not realized. So I'm just writing his name, and then after his name, well, I kind of like just came up with the name as I was drawing it. But anyways, his pronouns, and of course he uses he, him, and his, and he is 17 years old. So yeah, that's pretty much my drawing, my original character. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.